Okay, this is page 65, solid geometry. This is task 1 on that page because we have two questions there. So we are given the front view and the top view of a right regular pentagonal pyramid, and we're also given what? A cutting plane, AA. So these are the two views that are given. This is the front view, this is the top view of the pentagonal pyramid, right? Okay, instructions, we have to draw to scale 1:1. We have to draw the front view, the given front view, a sectional top view, a sectional left view, and the true shape of the cut surface. Lastly, show all necessary construction. No hidden detail is required. Okay, so obviously we have to draw these four views, and remember we are given the front view, which is this view here, and we are given the top view here. But for the top view, we have to draw a sectional top view, not just the top view. So the moment you see the word sectional, that means that view must be cut, right? Okay. So for me to draw this front view, obviously I have to draw the top view first so that I can just project the points up to this section, right? Okay, so I'll start by constructing this pentagon as my auxiliary view to the front view. So obviously I'll draw a vertical line there. So why? Because obviously I have a vertical line there. This is the base. So I'll start with this side of the pentagon. So we are given that the distance of the sides is 32. So on that line, I'll just mark 2 points. So I'll mark off 32 there. So this is 32, right? Let me just move a little bit. Okay, so I have 2 points there. Okay, and then because I'm constructing a pentagon, so I'll just use my protractor there. So for me to draw this pentagon, obviously I'll start with this line, this base here, and then for me to come up with this line, I'll measure 72 degrees, and also this side I'll measure 72 degrees, and obviously I'll have two lines, right? So I'll put my protractor on that point there, like that, and then obviously I'll measure from this side from 0 to 72. 70 is there, then 72 is right there, right? So from there I can just draw a straight line, like that. Okay, then now I'll put my protractor on this point, not this one. I'll move my protractor to this point right there. So I'll put my protractor there, and then now I'll have to measure from this side, not up there, but from this side, from 0 going anti-clockwise, right? So I'll mark off 72. 70 is there, and then 72 is somewhere there. I'll mark there a point, and then from there I'll just draw the line construction, just like that. Okay, so remember the size of the pentagon is 32, so I'll just measure 32 on my compass, like that, and then put my compass on that point and mark there on this line. Do the same thing here, mark there. So obviously that means I have a point there, I have a point right there. Okay, so now I'm left with this point, because now I have these 2 points. So for me to get this point, I can use my compass. So remember, my compass is 32. I measured 32 on my compass, so I just draw 2 arcs there. So where they intersect, it's a point there. So now I can just complete my pentagon there by joining this point, just like that. So this is my pentagon. So for me to get the center point, I can just bisect 2 sides, any sides. So I can just bisect this side there, draw an arc there, draw an arc there, and then put my compass on this point, draw an arc there, draw an arc down there. So I have a point there, I have a point there, and just draw a line there. That means I've bisected this this line, right? Okay, remember I'm trying to get the center point, right? So I've bisected this line. Now I can just bisect this line as well. So I'll just put my compass on that point, an arc there, an arc down there, put my compass on this point, an arc there, and an arc down there. Okay, so I have a point just down there and up there, so I can just draw a straight line there, light construction, just like that. So where the two lines intersect, it's our center point of the pentagon. So this is the center point. I can just draw all the lines from the points around the pentagon to that center point there, just like that, just like that. Already here I have lines there, so I'm left with this point there. Okay, so now I have my auxiliary view, right? So now I can just label my points. So I'll start with these points around the shape. So this point will be my number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this point is the top point, right? I can just label that as point T. Okay, so now I can just project these points up so that I can just draw my front view. So I'll just come back to my top view because I need the front view first so that I can just draw my sectional top view. So from this point I can just mark off 10, then draw my XY line there. Okay, just like that. So this is my X Y line, right, as given there, right? So now I'll start with the base of the pyramid there. So I can just measure 10 millimeters as well from the XY line going up. So remember, I'm drawing the front view, not a sectional front view, but a front view. So that means I'm not cutting that view. I'll just copy exactly as it is. So I have that base line there. So what's the height of the pyramid? It's given there, it's 82. So I'll mark off 82 there. So 82 is just up there. So I can just draw a line there, just like that. Okay, let me just extend this line there and that line. Okay, perfect. So now remember, point T is the highest point, so obviously it's that point there. So if I have that point, I can just join all the points from the base to that highest point there. So obviously point T will be there. So this is our point T, right? So now I can just connect the points there. It's like that. Okay. So now remember, here on this line I have 2 points, 3 and 4. So that means at this point I have 2 points, which is 3 and 4, right? Okay, and then this side I'll see this line T2, right? So on this line I have T2, right? So 2 will be right there. and also 5 will be right there. So that means here at this point I have 2 points, right? 2 and 5. 2 and 5. So I can just draw a solid line there for line T2, just like that. And then what else? So I have all the points there, right? Okay. And then now I need to add the cutting plane AA. So that line, that cutting plane is at an angle of 60, right? And the line cuts the line T2 at that point there. So we are given that from the base to that point there, it's 35. Okay, I can just measure 35 there and just draw a horizontal line there, just like that. So that means that point is right there. So now I can just take my 30 by 60 and draw the cutting plane. So I'll start right there. Just like that. So this is our cutting plane. So I'll label the cutting plane A. Okay, so I'm done with the front view there. So I can just mark that view off. So now I have my front view. So now I'll just try and draw the sectional top view. So now because I have this top view in light construction, and obviously I have all the lines, now I'll have to project the points from the cutting plane from the front view, right? So from our front view, if you look at the cutting plane, we have 1, 2, 3 points, right? So I'll have to project those points to our top view there, just down there, just like that, and project this point there, just like that, and the last point right over there. Okay, perfect. So now remember we are drawing a sectional top view, right? So now I'll just try to draw the cut surface there. So now I'll start with this point. So here the cutting plane is cutting 2 lines, right? Because here this is the base of the pyramid, right? So here if you look at the top view, we have line 2, 3 and line 5, 4, right? Okay, so if we check there, the cutting plane obviously is cutting there from the base of the pyramid. So obviously that means the 2 points are right there, right? So I can just connect those 2 points. So I'll just draw a line there. Okay, and then I'm done with this point. I move to that point. So same thing here. We have 2 lines here. We have T2 and T5, right? Looking from the top, you can see that we have line T2 and line T5. So obviously we projected that point down. That means on line T2 we'll have a point there, and on line T2 we'll have a point right there, right? So I'm done with this point. I can just join these points there because I'm trying to draw the cut surface of this pyramid using that cutting plane. Okay, and then now I move to the last point there. So here the cutting plane is cutting line T1. I forgot to label this point. Okay, the cutting plane is cutting line T1 right there. So obviously here we only have one line, so that means T1 is right there, so it's a point there. So now I can just connect the points there to complete my cut surface, just like that. Okay, so this is my cut surface. That means I can just hatch this view. So I'll just use my 45-degree set square to hatch that surface. Remember, anything that is cut, we have to hatch that part. So this surface must be hatched. Okay, just like that. So now I'll have to draw the remaining part of the pyramid. Remember, we are cutting the pyramid right there, right? So looking from the top, for me to see the cut surface, that means I'll have to remove the upper portion there, that top portion there, and then the remaining part will be just this one, right? So that means point 3 and 4, they are no longer there. They are cut out. So obviously here I'll leave it as it is. That means this part is cut out. So what's remaining is 0.2, 5 and 1. So I can just draw the base in from this point here, because obviously these points are cut out. So I'll just start drawing the remaining portion from here to 0.5, and also this side from this point to 0.2, because I still have those points, and we still have 0.1. So I can just draw in that part there. Just like that. And then remember, we have to add this edges as well. So this edge there from 0.5 to where the cut surface starts, and do the same thing here from 1 to there, and from 2 to the cut surface there. So this is our sectional top view. So I can just mark off that view. Now I'll have to come up with the sectional left view. Now I'll have to draw the sectional left view. So now, because I have the front view there, so where are you going to draw the sectional left view? Remember, solid geometry is in first angle. So that means our left view will be on our right hand side, right? So our sectional top, our sectional left view will be just right here. So now what I can do is I can just add an XY line. So measure 10 millimeters there and draw the XY line there. Okay, so this is our X1, Y1. Okay, so I can even add the 45-degree line there, just there. Okay, so I'll start with the complete pyramid in light construction. So the base is right there. Okay, and then obviously I have the points from the top view there, so I'll need to project those points to the 45-degree line. 0.3, 0.1, 0.2, obviously point T there is on the same line as 0.1, right? Okay, and then from there I have to project them up. Just like that. Okay, so I'll start with 0.1. 0.1 is right there. Remember, 0.1 is the base, so obviously the base is right there. 0.2 is right there, so this is our 0.2. 0.3 is there. 4 is there. 5 is right there. and point T. It's the highest point. T is up there. So now I can just connect the points in light construction. So this is a pyramid. Obviously all the points from the base will go to the same point, which is point T. Just like that.